explain about the background of the leader and organization involved in Steve Jobs' case study. The role of Steve Jobs in a case study often relates to his status as a co-founder and former CEO of Apple Inc. Let's look at his history and the organization he helped to create. Steve Jobs was born in San Francisco, California on February 24, 1955. His interest in electronics and technology began at a young age, and throughout his high school years, he formed a friendship with Steve Wozniak. Jobs and Wozniak co-founded Apple Computer, afterward renamed Apple Inc. in 1979. Apple achieved fame and success in the developing home computer industry with the launch of Apple II in 1977. However, internal tension and disagreement forced Jobs to leave Apple in 1985. He established the NET Inc., a computer firm that specialized in high-end workstations for education and business. Despite its lack of commercial success, NET was crucial in establishing Jobs' entrepreneurial and design ideas. Apple purchased NET in 1997. When Jobs returned, he became Apple's temporary CEO and ultimately CEO.
Apple introduced the iMac in 1998, an all-in-one consumer desktop computer that demonstrated Apple's attention to design and user experience. Apple released the iPod in 2001, a portable music player that revolutionized the music business and created the groundwork for Apple's future success. This music player adheres to the MP3 format. In this iPod, Jobs emphasized the significance of simplicity. The introduction of the iTunes Store had a catalytic impact on the iPod. Owning the iTunes software and iPod gadgets enables computer and device to operate together, allowing the complexity to be placed in the appropriate place. When competition grew, Jobs became concerned about future demand for iPods and launched the iPhone. Next, Apple launched the iPhone in January 2007, a breakthrough smartphone that merged a mobile phone, an iPod, and an internet communicator into a single device. Apple's debut into mobile phone may have been a dangerous choice because the field was dominated at the time by other corporations such as Samsung and Nokia. To stand out from the crowd, Apple released and upgraded the iPhone every 12 to 15 months. With each new generation, Apple lowered the price of the previous version. The advent of the iPhone signaled a seismic change in the mobile sector and revolutionized how consumers engage with technology. With the success of the iPhone, Jobs saw another opportunity to make a bold move to revolutionize computing with the release of the iPad. Later, Apple presented the iPad in March 2010, ushering in a new product category and ushering in a huge change in the publishing, education, and entertainment industries. Apple's production pricing for the iPad differed somewhat from previous model. The initial retail price of the iPad was less than the wholesale price of an iPhone. Apple also enjoyed a one-year head start on its competition. Last but not least, Apple introduced iCloud in October 2010 as Steve Jobs' final executive move. Apple was the first to recognize the potential of computer as a digital center. iCloud allows users to synchronize data, photographs, music, and other files across various Apple devices by storing them in a single place on the internet.
Apple was successful in the initial years of the PC industry because of its innovative product designs, customer service, and marketing strategies. In April 1978, the company of Apple launched the Apple II, which is a simple machine that people could use straight out of box. Then, the Apple II started a revolution in computers that drove the PC industry. It made Apple become the industry leader by selling more than 100,000 Apples by the end of 1980. For the marketing strategy, Steve Jobs' marketing is about values because he thinks that the world is complicated and noisy. They need to have a clear statement about what things they want to convey to the public. With that, he has unique approach to marketing and his role in creating the iconic Apple brand.
Jobs was stripped of his operating responsibilities in 1985 because the differences with the board of directors concerning the direction of the company. In 1983, Steve Jobs convinced Scully, who is the CEO of Pepsi, to be the CEO of Apple. So together, Scully would focus on marketing, while Jobs was handled with the technical parts and everything according to plan, but it didn't last long. In 1984, the Mac sale dropped below, as the marketing of Apple estimates sale of 75,000 Macs per month, but in reality, the company was struggling to sell 20,000 units per month. Scully blames Jobs for dropping Mac sale, while Jobs accused Scully of doing bad things in managing. Scully had asked Apple board of directors to remove Jobs from his duties, and after 2 days, board finally agreed with Scully. Jobs was invited to Beijing for their signature ceremony, but he encouraged Scully to go while planning a corporate coup. But Jobs' plan quickly fell apart because Mr. Guthrie revealed Jobs' plan to Apple top advisor, which is Al Centered, who immediately informed to Scully about Jobs' plan. Jobs was officially dismissed from his position as Apple Vice President and General Manager of the Mac division on May 31, 1985. Jobs was also officially stripped of all authority. So in early September, Jobs decided to leave Apple because he felt that he had enough of his role at the company and decided to start a new venture. Jobs submitted his resignation letter to long-time Apple employee Mike Makula a few days later.
So we are moving on to the third question, which is which experience do you think that had the most impact on the leader Jobs would become? His time at Next or his time at Pixar, and why? So both Steve Jobs' time at Next and his involvement in Pixar had a significant impact on his leadership style and the development of his visionary approach. So, however, if we had to choose one, it is likely that Jobs' experience at Next had a more profound impact on him as a leader. So, the first point is the birth of the Next and lessons in resilience. So, after being forced out of Apple in 1985, Jobs founded Next. He called it Next because it was going to be the next step in computers. So, he aimed to create advanced, user-friendly computers for academia and professionals. But Steve's plan for the perfect computers was very expensive. Then, because he hired a famous designer to create a logo for his new company. So, the logo cost is $100,000. So, Next lost 10 million in 3 years. But despite initial setback and challenges, Jobs exhibited unwavering resilience and determination. So the struggle to build a company from scratch taught him invaluable lessons about overcoming obstacles. So next point, which is fostering a culture of excellence and attention to the details. So Jobs understood that exceptional products were not merely a result of advanced technology, but also the outcome of meticulous craftsmanship and unwavering commitment to quality. So, at Next, Jobs placed a great importance on every aspect of the company's product, from their hardware design to the user experience provided by the software. So, he believed that even the smallest details will be potential to the customer satisfactions. As a result, the Next elegant and minimalist design revealed. So, third point is refining leadership style and humility. So, about this point, this is an opportunity for Jobs to refine his leadership style. He called employees as the members of the next community. And then what he do when he's at next, which is he's compensated workers based on their how long they had been applied at next. And then Jobs realized that he had the importance to surround himself with talented individuals so that his product will become popular.
When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1996, the business was suffering major financial difficulties, but it was not on the verge of going bankrupt. Apple had been suffering for several years owing to a number of causes, including declining market share. Apple's market share in the personal computer industry has been progressively falling. Microsoft Windows operating system, which dominated the PC industry, and cheaper PC competitors supplied by numerous manufacturers pose significant challenges to the corporation. Furthermore, Apple had a fragmented product range with multiple models, which caused consumer confusion. Consumers found it challenging to grasp and select the proper product for their needs because the firm offered a broad range of Macintosh models with varied characteristics and costs. This fragmentation also made it difficult for Apple to maintain efficient production processes and properly manage its supply chain. Because of this intricacy, production costs were high and inventory management concerns arose. Next, lack of innovation. Apple failed to develop game-changing goods in the early 1990s. The product portfolio of the corporation lacked innovation and failed to excite consumers, adding to its decreasing market position. In terms of features and usefulness, the Macintosh operating system, for example, had slipped behind Windows. Windows had achieved a sizable market share, and many users saw it as a more adaptable and compatible software and hardware platform. Furthermore, Apple was trying to keep up with the quickly changing technological scene, which included the advent of the internet and the trend towards portable gadgets. Apple was frequently late to enter new markets or adopt new technology. Strategic misstep. Apple had committed a number of strategic errors, including Macintosh performance and product line complexity. Apple originally arrived in the mid-1990s with the Macintosh performance line, with the intention of appealing to a bigger consumer market. However, the performance line resulted in a confusing array of models with varying specification and price.
Apple has gone through multiple leadership transition and internal disagreements prior to Steve Jobs' comeback. The absence of strong and imaginative leadership compounded the company's financial problems. Following Jobs' departure, Apple had a succession of CEOs, each with their own set of goals and ambitions for the firm. Because of the continuous turnover in leadership, it was difficult to set clear long-term goals and plans, producing a sense of insecurity throughout the organization. Despite its financial challenge, Apple maintained a sizable cash reserve and a dedicated client base. Concerns were raised in the market regarding the company's capacity to manage the competitive situation, make consistent profits, and reclaim its position as an industry leader. When Steve Jobs returned, he undertook a number of substantial reforms, including reducing the product range, focusing on core goods, reducing expenses, and encouraging an innovative culture. These steps eventually assisted Apple in regaining its footing and laying the groundwork for its emergence. When Steve Jobs returned, he undertook a number of substantial reforms, including reducing the product range, focusing on core goods, reducing expenses, and encouraging an innovative culture. These steps eventually assisted Apple in regaining its footing and laying the groundwork for its amazing recovery. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple in 1996, he introduced many critical techniques that contributed significantly to the company's future success. First and foremost, Jobs implemented simplification and focus is one of the first initiatives. He streamlined the company's product by reducing the number of product models and variants. This method not only increased operational efficiency but also aided the company's success by establishing a unique and recognizable brand character. Jobs implemented design and user experience and emphasized the significance of design and usability in Apple products. Then, Jobs pushed for product innovation across the board at Apple by innovation and integration. He wanted to seamlessly connect hardware, software, and service to provide a unified user experience. This strategy not only improved user convenience but also increased brand loyalty and lock-in as customers got more involved in Apple's product.
Jobs implemented a vertical integration model in which Apple controlled both the hardware and software part of its product. Furthermore, vertical integration enabled Apple to tighten the synergy between its hardware and software, resulting in increased compatibility and efficiency. Products like the iPhone highlighted this close integration as the hardware and software work in the tandem to provide a smooth and intuitive user experience. As a result, Apple gained better control over the user experience, enabling optimized performance and enabling closer integration of hardware and software. It also enabled Apple to distinguish itself from the competition and build a distinct value proposition. Another key step made by Jobs was the establishment of Apple retail strategy. Despite his reservation, Steve believed in establishing direct contact with customers through Apple's own retail outlet. Instead of depending entirely on third-party shops, Apple sought total control of the customer journey from product discovery to purchase and after-sale assistance. Apple could meticulously select the shop layout, design and product placement by owning and running its retail outlet, resulting in a unified and engaging experience for customers. Apple Shop also provided a venue for Apple skilled and trained employees, dubbed geniuses, to deliver personalized customer support and technical assistance. This strategy provided Apple with entire control over the customer experience, enabling improved product promotion, customer assistance, and brand engagement.
Next, brand reinvention. Jobs recognized the significance of repositioning Apple as a brand. He worked relentlessly to transform Apple's image from that of a failing computer firm to that of a pioneer of invention, creativity, and beauty. Furthermore, Jobs was a master creating effective marketing campaigns to create compelling tales around Apple's product. He emphasized distinctive features or benefits of Apple product, captivating audience with memorable advertising and showcasing the value that Apple provide to people's life. Also, Jobs' product launch became legendary event that sparked excitement and expectation. His captivating presentation and theatrics added to Apple's attraction, creating a sense of desirability and exclusivity. Jobs effectively rebuilt Apple brand identity through great marketing campaign, memorable product introduction, and emphasis on establishing a dedicated community of Apple authority.
So last question for this assignment is trace and discuss the progress of the organization from the time the leader departed to the present days. So first one start up between 1976 and 1986. So Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak launched Apple with the intention of creating personal computers. So Jobs was the visionary and idea guy, while Steve Wozniak as the engineer. The Apple first computer was launched in 1976. So next, they introduced the Apple II in 1977. They built a single board computer with a color, video interface, and an inbuilt ROM station. So after 3 years, in December 1980, Apple launched a successful IPO. Then, 4 years later, Apple put on the market another innovation, which is a Macintosh computer. So, Jobs and Wozniak do not have any experience in running a company. So, Mike Markula one of the Apple's earliest CEO and inventors, have an idea to hire an external CEO, so they hired Michael Scott. Then in 1983, John Scully, the CEO of PepsiCo, was recruited by Jobs. Then Apple launched another new innovation. It was Lisa, the first graphical user interface GUI computer, but in 1985, it was a technical revolution and the sales for the computer dropped. So Apple was unable to overtake the IBM's completely control of the PC market. And then Scully decided to fire Jobs from the Macintosh computer.
Okay, for homework, which is 1986 to 1997, Apple has offered a complete desktop solution to users from scratch using unique chip, disk drive, and monitor. In 1990, Microsoft released Windows 3.0 and the majority of IBM and compatible users were put up with their machines, but Apple customers loved their Macs. Then Jobs launched Next, a new technology AI business after leaving Apple because he wanted a personal computer. The other employees left Apple and worked together with Jobs. After Jobs left, Scully took charge and the company introduced the System 7, a new operating system. They also introduced PowerBook laptop. Apple began to lose its concentration on other innovation and new products that failed to make an impression of the market. The mistake made by Scully was not having a processor. Products from Intel were more demand and less expensive. Therefore, Scully was forced to resign and Michael Spindler replaced his position. After 3 years, he was forced to leave due to the collapse of acquisition talks with IBM, Philips, and the Sun Microsystem. In 1996, Gil Amelio replaced Spindler and proposed the controversial idea of acquiring Next. In early 1997, Next was purchased by Apple for USD 429 billion with the aim of restoring Apple's innovative process. In June 1997, an investor sold 1.5 million shares of Apple and this caused Apple stock to fall to its lowest level in 1 year. The board of directors decided to fire Amelio and appoint Jobs as CEO of the company in a bad situation at the time, and this moment is what Jobs has been waiting for 10 years. His next leadership homework is almost done. He got the chance to create innovative products and operating system. In fact, he also studied politics so that he knows how to control the company in the best way, especially when there is a conflict. After some time passed, Jobs admitted that he had put 1.5 million shares of Apple. He also wanted to put the board under external pressure because he was ready with a second opportunity at Apple.
Jobs began to make change in the company after being given the opportunity to become interim CEO. To begin with, he appointed a new executive committee to do innovation work on different computers, systems, and tools such as Next. They transformed street vendors by building Apple Store, which is no more store with counters and cashier. Apple innovative, new and fresh shopping experience has boosted the company's sales. He is the CEO who inspires people the most. He managed people by making various innovations that change the way we live today.